At ease. It's your boy Solar Moore. So yeah, the other day I'm at home and I'm just chilling, right? Just doing what I do. And I got a call from my ex. I hadn't talked to her in a good while. Now I'm not talking about beautiful faces of evil ex, so let me clear that out. But it was a young lady that I spent a short amount of time in a relationship in the past, right? And she was calling because, she had watched the news and she heard that the storm was coming to Texas and that we had snow and all this stuff. And she was just calling to make sure that, all was well. That was nice, She asked about my family. I asked about hers and all this stuff. Normal conversation. And then the conversation switched to this book she got me. She bought me a book a while back and she was like, hey, have you started reading the book? And I was like, no, I haven't started reading it. She was like, yeah, I'm on chapter so-and-so. You need to check this book out, right? And I'll get to this book in another video or whatever. But then she's like, yeah, well, the book is saying this and it's saying this. And brother, she just started spitting some knowledge. And as she was reading and telling me the parts of this book, I said, all of this is in this book you sent me? She's like, yeah. She went on to some other stuff. I'm like, dang, like this book is heavy. I need to check it out. But then she starts explaining some things about, what happens in the mind, body, and soul, as a person evolves and develops. And I was telling her, I said, that's exactly what I was feeling, when you and I stopped talking, right? Because you have to understand something. When her and I stopped talking, there were no arguments, there was no fighting, there was no, there were no major disagreements, there was no cheating, none of that stuff. It was simply me having to make a decision to continue to pour energy into a relationship, or me having to make the decision to continue to evolve on a spiritual level as a man, right? So I was like, this what you're saying is exactly what I was feeling, right? So we end up getting off the phone, and I pondered on our conversation for a while. And I was sitting there thinking about, the way her and my relationship ended with her, right? And then I said to myself, this wasn't the first time I've gone through that. I said, there have been, a small handful of times where I was in a relationship with a woman, but there was a pull on me that I couldn't understand, and I had to make that same type decision. And then I came to the conclusion, I said, you know what? I said, I'm selfish.
Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you own based on, whether you're human or whether you're immortal.
So I made a video or two where I talked about, I've said that a man should never fall in love with a woman. And I know that's a rough, one-liner. It sends the mind all over the place. But in a nutshell, what I was saying in these videos, I say that yes, a man should love and provide and take care of his woman. A man should love his children. A man should love his mother and his father. But I said that there is a portion of a man's heart that's reserved only for him, in communication with his creator, right? And at no point in time should that portion of a man's heart go toward anything else outside of his creator, right? Now, the thing with me, over the last number of years, when I've overcome a lot of things, I've manifested a lot of things. I've achieved goals that once seemed impossible. See, over the years, these things happening, it's caused, this portion of my heart, let's say this 10% portion of my heart to expand to like 40, maybe even 50% of my heart, right? And what that's done, it's put me in a situation where I have less energy to give to a relationship, right? And it's also caused me to see the world completely different, it's caused me to be very selective or be very selfish who I'm sexually involved with. I know there are a lot of, coaches and other guys online that teach me and how to get, have several women and have women different every weekend or different nights of the week. I'm telling you guys, you guys that are in 20 years old, whatever, you guys that are in your early 30s, I'm telling you, there's going to be a point in time in about 5 or 10 years, you're going to wake up and you're going to look back and you're going to understand why I talk about sexual energy the way I do. You might be making 6 figures at that point in time, but you're going to understand why you're only making 6 figures and why you're not making $1 million at that point in time. You're going to understand why your life on the outside looks good, but you don't really have this peace and joy and all this stuff, right? Another thing I realized is how valuable time is. Now time is simply an illusion, right? It's not real. It only exists in this third dimension world. But now I understand how much energy is associated with this illusion of time in this realm, right? So I'm very selective on who I spend time with as well. But what I've come to the conclusion of, guys, when it comes to me being in a relationship, because you have to understand, I'm not anti-relationship. I'm actually pro-relationship. And I can say that right now because I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, Soul's pandering to women. I'm a single man right now, and I'm still saying that I'm pro-relationship. I just think men need to understand what it is, right? But I've come to the conclusion about myself that the reason I'm very selective, the reason I am the way I am, I firmly believe that there is less than 1% of the female population that I can even rock with on that level. Now, you hear me talk about the 95%, you hear me talk about the 5%, but I'm sitting there saying that there is less than 1% of women that I can see myself with. And the reason is because for me now, it's less about me being physically attracted to a woman. Of course, every man wants to be attracted. A man has to be attracted to have a woman in his life. But I'm so far into where a woman vibrates, right? It's so much. And this is why. It's because I've learned that if a woman isn't vibrating where I'm vibrating, that means it's taken away from my vibration, right? I'll say it again. If a woman is not vibrating on the exact same frequency as me, even if she's a good woman, even if she's a 5% woman, even if she's sweet, she's kind, she's cooking, she's sick, all this, even if she's doing all of that stuff, I'm realizing now that if a woman isn't vibrating right where I am, it's actually taken away from my vibration. Because the thing is this, when you're talking about a relationship, it's about coming together and it's about becoming one. It's about the mixing of two. But my thing is, I love my vibration so much, and this is the selfish part. I love my vibration so much that I don't even want to alter it. I don't want to alter it no degrees, right? So for me to get in a relationship with the woman, this woman has to be my exact reflection. Like I have to look at this woman and literally see myself in her. As far as like the way she gives, the way she views the world, the way she wants to give back, the way she views relationships, the way she views her relationship with the Creator. It has to be just like mine or it can't exist. In a nutshell, guys, all I'm saying is this, right? We have to become more aware, right? Even when it comes to, we're talking sexual energy, right? Let's really think about it. How hard is it for the average man now to have sex, with a different woman 7 nights a week now? Because what all does it take to have sex with a woman? If a man has, a little money coming in, if a man has a nice car with a house, if a man if he can just check these 2 or 3 boxes, he's in a position in 2021 to have sex with at minimum 20 different women a month. So how special is it to be able to just knock down all these women? You know what I'm saying? We have to understand it on a deeper level, guys. We have to become aware of what's really taking place. At some point in time, we as men are going to have to grow up. Simple as that. And I'm not talking about growing up as far as maturing on a physical level or maturing on a mental level. I'm talking about we as men are going to have to mature on a spiritual level. We're going to have to understand that there's a spiritual thing taking place for every physical thing we do. Kundalini, as above, so below. We have to understand that, guys. At the same time, we have to understand that it's okay to be selfish. You have to understand that once you become selfish, it's going to eliminate a lot of problems. The reason I don't get online and make video day after day like I used to about a certain type woman, it is because by me being selfish, I eliminated that woman. Like this woman no longer exists in my world. So just by me becoming selfish, I eliminated that. So us getting in bad situations, us getting with these women that's taking all this stuff, us getting divorces, just by us becoming selfish, we're going to eliminate all of that stuff, guys. At the end of the day, we're going to have to understand that if we aren't choosing to be selfish, we're actually compromising everything.